Good morning, Cindy Hodnett with Furniture Today here on the ground in Atlanta for the Casual Market Atlanta Fall Edition. We're here with Jon Pertchik, CEO of ANDMORE, parent company to Atlanta Market, High Point, Las Vegas. We're going to find out a little bit about this market and some of the things we're hearing behind the scenes about markets in general. Jon, welcome.
Hi, Cindy. Good morning.
Early morning.
Thanks for having me. Yep, a little drive this morning too, but happy to be here with you.
Well, you know, we were talking before we started. You've got, 4 months under your belt. Tell us a little bit about your first impressions now.
Boy, oh boy, it's been a little overwhelming in a really good way, especially having attended now a number of markets. I don't care what people say, if you've never been to a market, you can't understand the intensity, the activity. So that is the first thing that jumps out. Probably the second thing is just how amazing the people are in this industry, both within ANDMORE and within the broader industry. These great family businesses that have been around for generation after generation, many of which started in a garage. Great stories of, lumber, logs flowing down river. I mean, it's just an amazing story, rich with all kinds of amazing, like all-American personalities and long-term businesses, and that's probably what stands out the most to me.
What are people saying to you as you go in and say your hellos to everyone?
I'd say a few things. People are first welcoming. It's amazing how welcoming people are to somebody who's an outsider. That's probably the first thing. I hear a lot of really highly complimentary perspectives around our team and our company, which is another. There's some headwinds in the industry, and there's a really a pretty common view I've heard from folks, and I think I share it, about sort of an election year and some of the challenges that creates for any time, any industry, and you combine that with high interest rates, and that creates headwinds. But I think what I also hear on the backside of that, and it's my own view too, there's a level of confidence that as we get through the election year, regardless, a very divided election year, whatever the outcome, and the Fed likely to make moves right now or within the next few months, will create sort of stable footing, and there's a lot of optimism that going into whether it's the Christmas season or the first quarter that we're going to see some kind of uplift. So that's really amazing how common a view there is there that I've heard from so many of the leaders of our customers.
That better times ahead regardless.
And right around the corner, not, end of 2025. And I share that view too, so.
Well, and I think it brings up the next point that we were talking about a little earlier. When times are tough, there are always lots of rumors and lots of scuttlebutt, So first of all, let's address the first thing. Why do you feel like in this business environment, when it's tough for a lot of guys, that market's still important, market's still relevant?
Boy, I really believe, and again, being the newbie here, I feel like this is an honest assessment. I really feel like this company is evidence that COVID did not kill the real life experience. People are officing differently. That'll be a generational thing. And I think there was a fair question 2.5 years ago. Are people going to come to places to do commerce in person? That was a legitimate question in 2020, even 2021. I believe we are proof that that is not the case. And I think the reason why, it's just my theory, but I believe it, is when you come to look at, say, furniture, we're here to talk about casual. We're here for our casual market in Atlanta. People want a sense of scale, to understand when they see a piece of furniture and its relationship to a table or something that goes on top of it, to see it, to touch it. The boucle, you can't really tell what it feels like from the internet. The size of the chair I'm sitting on, you really can't tell how it fits the human body relative to, say, another piece of furniture. And I think that real experience is why people continue to come to market. And I think, again, we are evidence that those things really matter.
Not to mention even just the discovery process.
That's right, and the discovery process as well, of just going and finding, and so many of our customers will have many hundreds, if not thousands, of new offerings once a year or so, and to get to see and sort of experience that for the first time, I think is a big part of it. The discovery process is another reason why I think markets exist and are important.
And we were sort of chuckling about it a little bit before we started filming. Every so often, the rumors pick up, what is ANDMORE going to do with all the markets? And, they're going to sell them, they're going to split them, it's a limited time. Talk about that.
You're right. I mean, it starts with a chuckle because there's always sort of a fringe perspective and fringe element in every business. It's a bell curve, right? You've got people at all in the middle mostly, and then you have people out on the outer edge. To me, it's sort of laughable and ridiculous. And again, being the new person coming in here, the last thing we would do, the last thing I would even imagine doing is breaking up this company. Frankly, it's just the opposite. We're going to be doing some really exciting things that I'd love to give you the scoop in the next few months. We can't really talk specifically right now, but in High Point, we're working on something really exciting. In Vegas, particularly focused in January, we're going to be doing some really exciting things, some extra energy and effort and resource to do certain things, to achieve certain things. So we're putting a lot more effort and a lot more freshness into the company overall. Even the ANDMORE brand, I really feel like we never really gave it the full college try. The company came out with a name through COVID, and we didn't just really push it. So we're going to be doing a lot more with how we press that name and push it out there. Now, you wouldn't do that at the ANDMORE level if you were breaking up the pieces. That's a waste of effort. So, I mean, again, it's just like real evidence that that sort of fringe ridiculousness is laughable. But well, I'm glad to have the opportunity to address it, because things on the internet can go wild, and I'd like to put that right to bed.
Absolutely. So, you know, we will always take a scoop. Let me say that first and foremost. But to wrap everything up, it's a stronger together, forging ahead, positive days, correct?
I mean, 100%. So much of what I'm coming and thinking about as I'm developing a plan is around exactly what you just said. It's really putting emphasis and investment, not to diminish the sort of more regional level brand that people recognize, but on parallel with that, continuing to do that, to put a little more effort into the ANDMORE name and brand to show the cohesiveness, to develop even down, I don't want to bore people with like how the sausage making works, but even developing more streamlining through different ways of working where we take best practices from the different places. Because remember, we were put together from different acquisitions. I feel like we can do more to really pull us together and take the best of each and do better for ultimately our customers. You wouldn't do all of that. My entire plan is based around those kinds of concepts. You wouldn't do that if there was a reality to this sort of break apart thing. It's just crazy.
Well, we appreciate your candor. We look forward to continued conversations.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Anytime. Stay tuned for more coverage from Atlanta Market.